tweet out the live link from YouTube. Blessed. Where's the meat? What's happening? Oh, that's okay. I mean, I'm in my car, dude. Yeah, I think it's okay.
All right, we are live. Hello, everybody.
Blessed.
Welcome in.
Coming to you live from the Cooper's Hawk in Kenwood Township, Ohio.
Live
lot.
From Cody's car. We are here for the playoff rankings reactions. I'm trying to pull it up right now. I don't know where it's at.
Blessed. Tired of listening to them what is it? Reese Davis ramble about something.
Yeah, some intro. Yeah. Oh well. So what are we? So the big thing. What are we looking forward to this week? What are we looking?
So I mean, I'm excited to see where they place Michigan. I'm like curious if they like take the 2 spot, the 3 spot, like where, and then I'm also curious to see where they put Ohio State. I'm curious as to where Oklahoma State is gonna end up in all of this.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what happens with Notre Dame because like losing a coach kind of does
it does matter.
Affect it matters.
It should
like,
matter.
Do they knock them down a little bit? Like
so see, like, I think they'll put them at the bottom of the 1-loss teams. So they'll probably end up putting them at 6, and put Oklahoma.
That's what I'm thinking as well. It's the logical thought for me. Like, let's not force them to have to play in a playoff game without their head coach. Like, honestly, like that's the right thing to do because those players don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Their fans don't want them to be there. The fans have been saying, I've been on some Notre Dame.
Oh, Cody fell.
I've been on some Notre Dame message boards and stuff like that all year, and like they don't want to be in the playoffs this year. They just want to go to kind of a bigger bowl game. And I mean, I'm sure that there's someone that's a Notre Dame fan that wants to be there, but from the things that I'm seeing, like the idea of making a playoff and getting smacked by somebody doesn't.
No,
it's not what they want to see.
But what if it's like the major, like say they put Marcus Freeman in charge and then he goes on and like makes not even wins the championship, but like they make the playoffs and like they go, that's a legendary start to a head coaching career.
Like you win a national championship, like your second game.
Imagine if that's how his career as the Notre Dame head coach starts. Is he?
So I saw some reporting a little bit ago. Don't know how accurate it was. It was from Dennis Dodd. So like my assumption is that it is like relatively accurate.
Yeah.
That they
first five are up. All right. They kept Texas A&M in the rankings. Texas A&M's at 25.
How dumb.
Yep. Louisiana's now ranked, so they're 24th. Good to see that. Kentucky jumps back into the rankings. They're 23. Arkansas moves up 3 spots. They're now 22, and then Houston moves up 3 spots. They're 21. So Texas A&M drops 10 spots, but they still keep them in the rankings.
Yeah, they got to keep that Alabama
Purdue
loss.
If Texas A&M is in the rankings, Purdue should be in the rankings. They have the same record, and Purdue has way better wins. have 2 wins that are probably better than.
Though.
Yeah, no, they're not. Not if they're in that first 5. All right, next 5 is up. They're moving quickly through this. Clemson is up 3-20. San Diego State moves up 2 to 19. NC State moves up 2-18. Utah moves up 2 to 17, and Wake Forest moves up 2 to 16. So really no change, just accounting for the dropout of I can't even know. Texas A&M's won. Who else lost this past week that would have dropped out?
These nuts. I don't know. Someone.
Yeah.
I didn't. To be entirely. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yep. Because Wisconsin was up there at like 13 or something like that last week.
Yeah.
All right, next 5 already out. Okay. Pitt
Wow,
is. They're moving through this. Pitt is up 2 to 15. Oklahoma drops 4. They're 14. Iowa's up 3 to 13. BYU up 1 to number 12, and Michigan State up 1 to 11. BYU at number 12.
So I just want to point out
a 2-loss BYU at 12.
I mean, I'm still fine with it. They went undefeated in Pac-12 play. They should be competing for a Pac-12 championship right now.
I really like your idea. Notre Dame and BYU should play this week.
God. Oh my God! It'd be amazing.
It'd be epic. It's what
now that Notre Dame doesn't have a coach.
Imagine the hype around that game. Marcus Freeman, probably would be the interim coach for that game, and I don't know. That'd be.
So the only thing is, the NCAA will not allow it.
I mean, they did it last year. BYU and Coastal Carolina just random. Okay, they're on to their next 5. Okay. 10 is Oregon, up 1. Okay, they're gonna do these one by one. So I guess you can kind of finish your thought, but.
So the NCAA only allows you to play 12 games unless you're going to a conference championship game.
What about Hawaii? Hawaii's played 13 games this regular season.
Hawaii is the one exception. They always have 13 games so that they can have an extra home game.
Okay.
They get that because travel is so hard for them. They have to travel
Baylor,
so much for their 6 games away from home. Baylor
drops 1 spot. They're at 9.
I don't necessarily think they should have dropped, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to point out, the Big 12 is doing really well right now. The future Big 12.
Yeah. I mean, Dave Aranda signing him to that extension, not letting him leave for LSU is huge for Baylor. He's gonna be one of the next best, really, really good head coaches in college football. I mean, Mike Gundy's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I can't remember who I saw or what I saw it was, but it was someone saying that Baylor is positioning themselves to be the next Clemson. All of the moves that they're doing in the athletic department, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, but also I can't dispute it.
They put Ole Miss at 8, so they flip-flop Ole Miss and Baylor for whatever reason.
I mean, I guess because everyone watched the Egg Bowl on Thursday night, and it was the only game besides San Jose State.
Yeah,
Fresno State.
Yeah,
which no one watched.
So what? They crushed a Mississippi State team that neither of you really ever thought was that good. So, and I mean, so it should have just stayed the same because Baylor played Texas Tech. They both took care of business. What did you?
SEC bias. Well, yeah, it's because Alabama has that quality loss to Texas.
So they need a quality win over Ole Miss.
Yeah. Exactly.
Makes sense. I don't know if you ever.
Keep Alabama in the top 4.
Okay, Ohio State have dropped 5 to 7. So, Oregon 10, Baylor 9, Baylor 9, Ole Miss 8, and Ohio State 7.
I can't disagree with that.
That's where they should be.
It makes sense. They're a good team. They're just not there yet.
They can't be in this conversation with 2 losses.
No.
They can't.
Not at this point, unless everyone in front of them loses.
I mean, yeah, but I guess I can't say that can't happen because there was a crazy weekend in college football this past weekend.
Whoa, what a crazy weekend, man! That was really nuts.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think we're gonna record all our episodes for this week, including best bets and everything like that, tomorrow. So those will be out later this week. But we also probably are going to have to talk about the coaching situation. And
My head is just spinning, my dude.
we recorded a video last week of the coaching carousel, and it was Thanksgiving happened, and I went home, and I didn't end up. I edited it and everything, but I never uploaded it. And I mean, it's completely obsolete at this point because three of those I think three of the ones we talked about have been filled.
Actually, well, because Virginia Tech also
Four.
filled theirs.
Yeah.
Today.
So none of the people that we said we're gonna for those other than Billy Napier.
The Washington one
we said him for Washington State. We had him for Washington State. We had Harsin, or no? Did we have Harsin for Washington?
That was we did. We did.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter because we're not gonna put it out because it's fucking obsolete.
It was not even a week ago and it's already completely obsolete. That's how crazy this past weekend was.
Coaching carousel, and I hate the coaching. Like I was loving the coaching carousel until about like 7 o'clock last night, and then I was like, I fucking hate everything. Fuck. Like,
Yep.
Brian Kelly has the potential to ruin the two best seasons in Cincinnati football history, single-handedly. To his credit, though, Luke Fickell is kind of staying the course, saying, I'm not going to talk about any of that until after the season's over, until this is done. I'm focused on my players.
I very much get that vibe from Luke Fickell that he's not even going to think about it. He's all about the team and winning these next couple, winning this week and then getting into the playoff. Hopefully, he's not even. Yeah. He's got to be thinking about it at least a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, absolutely, he has to. It's
human nature.
It's his future, and honestly, if he leaves for Notre Dame, it entirely makes sense. It's one of the jobs that I've said for a long time, that job makes sense for him to leave for. He's Catholic, they're Catholic, lots of Catholic schools, great place to raise your kids. South Bend's a great city. It all makes sense. I just hope he leaves in a fashion that is less
painful,
shitty, than the way that Brian Kelly left Notre Dame or when he left Cincinnati.
Cincinnati? That's what I was thinking of.
Well, I mean, and I love, honestly.
All right, they're revealing the top 6 now. Okay. Georgia won.
Wow, shocker.
No shocker.
Who they got at 2? That's who I'm really curious
Michigan. I had a feeling they'd put Michigan at 2.
That's what was going to happen.
They just flip-flop. Well, I guess they had Michigan at 6 going, or 5. They were at 5 this past weekend, so yeah. But yeah, Michigan 2, I'm not surprised. They'll put Alabama 3 and Cincinnati 4.
Or Oklahoma State at 4.
I feel like they're going to put Cincinnati here still, keep the status quo, and then if they're really going to jab that knife into Cincinnati, they'll do it next week after Cincinnati wins and Oklahoma State beats Baylor. And then they'll be like, all right, now we're going to put Oklahoma State in over it.
Maybe. I think they might just do it now so that they can say, well, they kind of...
Honestly, I think a win over Baylor in the Big 12 Championship is a little more impressive than a win over Oklahoma at this point. And especially with the knowledge that Lincoln Riley was out the door.
Yeah. Well, apparently that deal came together from he got contacted on his way back to Oklahoma. He found out that they were interested that night.
I feel like there's one of the podcasts I listened to, this guy is really into college football, and he said he was looking at some message boards and Lincoln Riley has completely focused his recruiting efforts over these past couple months in California. So this has at least been on his in the back burner or something, and then maybe it was all right, now we're doing this officially on Saturday. Whenever you say he got the word,
that's entirely possible. But also, if you look at his recruiting while he's been there, he's kind of focused it on California. The quarterbacks he's gotten have been California guys. Maybe California guys are transfer guys.
Cincinnati's at 4. They put Cincinnati at 4. Okay. They finally just revealed it. So Georgia
Oklahoma
1.
State's got to be 5.
Yeah, and then Notre Dame 6. I think that's what it'll end up being.
Where's Alabama?
They're 3.
Oh, they're at 3. Oh,
yeah.
They're still at 3. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
They stayed in the same spot.
Okay, I mean, I guess
So
that makes
yep,
sense.
Oklahoma State at 5 and Notre Dame at 6.
So I mean, this pretty much takes care of itself this weekend. If Georgia takes care of business, Bama's out, Oklahoma State's in. Cincinnati takes care of business, they're in.
Alabama wins, they're in.
And then we just have to deal with which is the better team, Oklahoma State or Cincinnati.
Yeah. So I think right now, honestly, I think the top 4 control their own destiny. I mean, Georgia it doesn't matter if they win or lose this weekend, they're in.
I'm almost yeah.
But if they win, they are definitely in, obviously. And then Michigan, they win, they're in. Alabama wins, they're in. Cincinnati wins, I think they're in. So madness needs to happen for this to change, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it will change. I think that based off just like what I'm seeing, I think Georgia's going to win against Alabama this weekend.
I wouldn't be surprised though if Alabama beat Georgia. Like,
it wouldn't surprise me, but also like I just don't.
Georgia always blows the big
that
game,
good.
especially when it's against Alabama.
Maybe. I think Georgia's in no matter what. I don't think these 4 teams are changing.
Yeah.
Unless I would pick Georgia to win that game personally.
I would too.
But like there is that factor. That's not my most confident of picks. But like I'm like 60% thinking they win it. And then, that knocks Bama out and puts Oklahoma State in. And
well, Oklahoma State doesn't have an easy game. I mean, Baylor's going to be, especially.
Oh, I agree.
Like, I might end up picking Baylor in that game because I still don't trust this Oklahoma State team. Like, their offense, they got a really good defense. They're one of the best defenses in the country, but I just don't know if I trust that team to be a playoff team.
Good when it's rolling, but they just make too many penalties and mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that you make a really good point. So then if Oklahoma State loses and Alabama loses, then it's Notre Dame?
Yeah. I think Notre Dame's that default team. If 2 teams lose out of those top 5, I guess, then Notre Dame will slide in there kind of by default.
I would kind of.
I'm not
gonna lie. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of would love, for some reason, for Notre Dame to slip because they're not playing this week, because they did that to Cincinnati twice last year. When Cincinnati didn't play, they dropped them because someone else did play. But also the people around Notre Dame are set up; they don't play either. So
yeah.
There's no way they do.
I don't know. Well, I guess that'll do it. I don't know if you want to touch about anything else, but that was the rankings. You got any last words?
No, I'm nervous for this weekend. I'm excited, but as a fan, very nervous. This playoff is shaking up to look like one of the most interesting playoffs that we have seen, and I think that means a lot.
My favorite thing is that it feels like it's going to be different. It's going to be, hopefully we get Michigan in there, because I would like to see Michigan in there. Hopefully we see Cincinnati. I wouldn't mind seeing Oklahoma State in there, especially for the uniforms. I'd like to see them in the playoffs just to see those uniforms on Nationals TV a couple more times. But
yeah, some 4K action.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind Alabama get the hell out of there. And I guess in my ideal world, Oklahoma State beats Baylor, even though I don't love that team. But I'd still rather see new teams. So that's what I'm looking for.
That's also where I'm at.
Yeah.
I want to see, Georgia has been in it once.
But this is a different Georgia team. This is a good
Georgia team.
This is a really good Georgia team.
An exciting Georgia team.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me that I was saying that at the beginning of the season,
we were
you're nuts.
If we go back,
shit on Georgia.
we
so much
all over Georgia. I think it was like week 4, week 5, maybe week 6. I flipped and I was like, this Georgia team's good, and really, really good. But yeah, those first 5 weeks, I was shitting on Georgia.
I don't think I flipped until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well,
like I wasn't confident in Georgia until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. I think it's just they have the lasting power at this point. It's like, what are
you've seen it for 12
not
weeks?
Them,
yeah.
Not them. Not them. No one's gonna beat them. Like, I look at this and like I do see some like Michigan could definitely beat Georgia.
I think they have a chance. I don't know. I don't think they could. They're too one-dimensional. They cannot throw it. And if you're just gonna run you can't just run the ball all game on Georgia. That's not gonna work.
That's fair. I think Georgia.
I don't think anybody matches up well against Georgia, though. That's the point.
The key with Michigan, though, is that Michigan has a much better defense than anyone they've faced all year.
Clemson.
Until they play Alabama.
They played Clemson. Clemson's like the second or Clemson's like
3 games.
Doesn't matter. They still got like the second or third best offense or defense. Sorry.
Great.
I think Georgia has allowed 83 points. Yeah, because their offense is terrible. Georgia's allowed 83 points this season, which is the lowest of anybody in the country. And it's also ridiculous to allow less than 100 points over 12 games over an entire season. That's just absurd. But Clemson was second on that list, and they've allowed like 160 or something like that, which is even more absurd that the second place team allowed almost 100 more points than the first place team. But Clemson's defense is the second best defense in the league, in the country.
Fine. I still just don't care. Like fuck Clemson. Like they suck.
All right. Well, the original argument was that you said that who is the best defense they've played all year? Or no, Michigan. Michigan would be the best defense that they've played all year, and I say no to that argument.
I still think that. Because Clemson's defense gave up that many points against an awful ACC. Like the ACC isn't good.
I mean, that's
they gave up that many points against. Like, I'm sorry, but
it's like 10 points a game.
You can't tell me that Clemson is this amazing team when they didn't play anybody besides Georgia, who beat them. I also don't think Georgia has the most amazing offense in the world.
It's because Clemson's offense is terrible. I'm not arguing with you whether Clemson's a good team. I'm saying their defense is the second best defense in the country.
Okay, yeah, but Coastal Carolina's defense was doing pretty good there for a while. Like
they
don't play anybody either.
Okay.
Like
but that's not an ace. That's not an.
That is worth a damn.
You can't compare the Sun Belt's offenses to the ACC. I don't care how bad you think the ACC is. It is not the Sun Belt.
I'm not trying to compare them. I'm just saying the ACC isn't good.
Okay. You keep changing your argument.
It's the worst Power 5 league by far.
The only argument I was trying to make is that Clemson is the second best defense in the league. Or I keep saying in the league, in the country.
And you may be right, but I still think Michigan's defense is better than Clemson's.
That's just statistically that's false.
Okay,
eyeball test that's false.
I disagree entirely.
Oh, so Big Ten offenses are way better than ACC offenses?
Yes.
I'll take Wake Forest's offense, maybe Ohio State's offense, but Wake Forest's offense
way
over.
Better.
Okay. Okay. I guess I can't. They're not way better than the ACC's offense.
Way better.
No. The average Big Ten score is 13-10. The average ACC Coastal score is like 52-47.
Yeah, because no one plays defense in the ACC.
Because the offense, maybe the offenses are really good.
No,
but maybe you said that's why they win. Okay, all right. I don't even know where we're going with this argument. I don't even know what we're arguing about anymore at this point.
I'm just arguing to argue at this point.
I kind of picked up on that, but all right. I want to go watch my number 2 ranked Purdue Boilermakers beat the shit out of Florida State right now in the Big Ten. In the Big Ten AC. We got jibbed. We should be number 1, but because of the brand and the program that is Duke, and because it's Coach K's last season, they felt bad for him. They're like, all right, we'll put you at 1, even though you were at 5 and Purdue was at 3.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. I agree. Okay, I'll let you get off to it, and I'm gonna go join the ladies for some wine tasting.
Sounds good. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll
Bye.
see you next time.
I'm thinking probably earlier the better.